Good morning, everyone. Let's get this stream started. Oh, I still have my other stream. Sorry about that. My other screen was still on. Okay, so let's see what happened right now. I mean, the pre-market session, because we had a nice pump up, right? So pretty much overnight session was trending up. It was ranging for a little bit, but again, bounced off that 200 EMA. Moved slowly, but finally ended up pushing through. We did get a nice little alert at 8:15 this morning. Unfortunately, today I did wake up late, so I couldn't catch it. Because I wasn't just going to wake up and just run to my screen and try to force a trade, right? But like we see, we would have entered our move around 8:15, right around here. Kind of did take that dip a little bit. So let me just show you guys how it worked, right? So this is like an interesting play. So pre-market session, obviously volume's a bit lower, so we've got to be careful. 8:15, we got the alert. If we followed the alert, we would have got in right there around 34.74 and plus one tick, right? This is for our rules. And you'd enter at 34.74.25. Then you just ride it out. You would have taken your first contract off at the first take profit level, which would have gave you 2 points. And then the second take profit level is where you would want to exit your second contract. But you could, even if you held, you would have had a chance to come back up. But the minute it hit that second take profit, you should have moved your stop up to either break even or this first take profit level. That way you're never, you're never losing out. In today's case, we hit it, acted as a resistance point, and then boom, just started going down. The red lines are our stop losses. So our stops would have been hit if we're still in it. But again, we take our profits as we see them, right? First take profit is always, you should just get it, at least one contract, just because even if you're writing it out and say everything reverse on you and you're still in the position, you hedge against your losses because you already took that profit on the first one. And then you could have easily just taken it off at the second take profit, and then you could have been done. Nice, easy, what, 4.5 points? Yeah. So 4.5 points, and then you could have been done. 4 points, good move. You could have honestly just sat out and just gone on with your day for the rest of the day, depending on how many contracts you're trading. But then we had this heavy push, heavy sellers just pumped in, but then we saw it bounced off that 200 EMA again, that yellow line. Couldn't break through, just pumped right up. Let me just move this over. And then we can talk about some support and resistance levels that happened since yesterday. Yesterday around 12:30, we were on the stream. We were talking about this level right here at 34.65.30, but then it kind of just pushed through, kept going. And we said our next level would have been 34.81.85 or 34.82, right? I even typed it out in the chat yesterday. And then pretty much by the end of the day yesterday, it hit that and then came right down. And then we had our nice little 200 EMA bounce, and now it's just breaking through again. So for today, what we're looking for, we're still bullish for today. Again, we're above the 200 EMA. We're going for bull plays. Today, I'm not going to try to enter any tick chart plays or anything like that. What I'm going to be looking for is a nice little pullback, and then hopefully an algo alert will come through. I'll enter the algo alert, go for like 4 or 5 points, and then I'll close my position. I'll be done. That's my game plan for today. I am not making any more tick chart plays or anything for the moment being. NQ, I'll look at the 1-minute charts. I'll pull that up as well. But for the ES, I'm going to keep it at the 5-minute charts for today, and then just wait for a nice pullback, because we have the high volume nodes here, so we have a potential being pulled back down, and then we can continue the upside, and that's where I want to catch it. Unless we kind of just push through completely, most likely I'd get like a nice little short around 34.96 or a nice little short at 35.05. But again, if I'm gonna go short, I wait for the price to cross. Then when it's showing weakness above the cross of our resistance line, I'll put my order below. So I'll put my order around like 34.95, 75. So like a couple ticks below, because I want confirmation that, hey, this is actually gonna reverse and come down, and I'll try to catch a couple points that way. And then today we are gonna keep a nice little eye on our delta. Thanks, Mustafa. I'm glad you liked the video for the setup. I know it's like kind of just my first time making that, and I know if there's any confusion, just let me know and I'll fix it. I have no problem doing that, because I want to make sure you guys understand how to use it properly. And Enzo, thank you for the compliment right there. It will be on for sale soon. It's not going to be crazy expensive or anything. I don't want to charge people too much, because I've seen those people online and kind of just pisses me off. So I'm trying to be different, make stuff affordable, because it's not like I'm going to be depending on that, right? Because trading is my main source. The algo, putting it for sale, is just my side. Yeah, if you want to try get like a little trial for it, like I said yesterday, like a couple people DM me on Discord. I gave them the access. I set it up for them. I'm gonna see how they're doing with it, just testing it out. I'm glad you like it, Mustafa. But yeah, definitely like check out the course. I think it really helps a lot of people. I've been getting a lot of feedback from people saying that it really did help them learn, get educated, and like obviously save a lot of money, because everything you saw in that course, a lot of people were charging like a couple $1,000s to teach you the same exact things, and I was just like, why? Like, I just don't think education should be something you profit off of. I'm happy for you, Mustafa. I'm glad everything's working out for you. But yeah, so this morning I set up a new TradeStation account and I funded it with 10K. And what I'm going to be doing is showing people that if you stay consistent and be patient, that you can grow your account. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it's very doable, because you're not going to be risking too much either. You're going for those big momentum plays, but then you're not going to be risking too much. But I'm going to make like trade recaps every time I take a trade on that 10K account. That way people can see, because like all I'm going to be using for that 10K account is simply follow my algo alerts to show everyone that how well it works. And the whole point of 10K is because like that way most people I know would start their trading accounts under the 25,000 limit and would have to slowly grow their account, right? They have to follow the PDT rule where they get hit, and that's something I'm going to make sure, hey, that's why I swing trade, so I can avoid that PDT rule. Because like if I'm holding a position overnight, I can trade as many times as I want, because like I can continuously hold and hold and hold, because those are the moves I'm looking for. So the PDT rule won't ever affect me unless I'm in and out of on the same day, which happens sometimes because we get those big swings, especially like an Apple and Tesla lately. Like they've just been jumping and you're done in the same day, and it's like, hey, I'm happy. So again, just do a little recap again, right? High volume nodes are around 34, 73, 29. That's something we have to pay attention to. Then we just kind of just broke through our resistance level right here around 34.81, and then we broke through. Now we're seeing a little bit of a pullback, so let's see how strong this pullback can be. The market is open. It's not moving like crazy, which is always concerning me. It's like so far for the past like month, right? Anytime the market's been very slow at the open, it means there's gonna be a little bit of chop before it breaks out. So we have to be patient when that happens. Let's just minimize this, pull this to the side. I'm not even gonna look at this tick chart because I know I want to get in, but lately the tick chart hasn't been the best because there's been some chop going around. So I'm just gonna pull up the NQ charts. Pull up some. Where'd my lines go? That's interesting. Was it on this one? Nope. That is so weird. Yeah, can I look at TQQQ? Yeah, I can look at TQQQ. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna pull my TradeAvate account to the side just because I need to go into my account settings. I don't want, you know, any of my account numbers leaked. So again, this is the chart for TQQQ in the 1 hour chart. So pretty much we're still continuing our previous alert. So until we see a nice little pullback, I wouldn't enter TQQQ unless you're just going for like a little quick couple minute scalps. Then you could drop down to the 15-minute time frame. So yeah, TQQQ, it's still on its little bull trend. If you got in down here, yeah, you could have held, but as of right now, me personally, I would just wait for another pullback and then I would enter. It's just better to be patient in these situations. So we might get some support for the NQ around 1904. ES support obviously to the 200 EMA is always a big one. Again, NQ, same thing. 200 EMA, I found that to be a good place for a bounce, like majority of the times, right? It's not about trust, man. You know that. You just gotta be careful. You're on YouTube. You never know who's watching. And there's always people, you know, that try to take advantage. That's why I never ask people for any of their account information. I don't care about how much they're trading with or anything, because that's their personal info. Some people like putting it out there, and that's up to them. Me personally, I'm more of a reserved person. It's like, you know, I like to make sure everything's secure. I know you understand, Tom. It's just like the age we're in where it's like, you know, like it's crazy because like ever since quarantine started, the amount of hacking has increased because the amount of people with like debit cards that got hacked just went right through the roof. So it's like people are just getting after everyone and their money. Okay, let's see. Like I said, I'm going to be patient today. I'm not going for any of the tick chart plays. I'm not doing anything like that. Just going for my algo alerts. If they come, they come. That's when I get some good money and I'll go from there. But with the market lately, when with it being so choppy and me getting caught in the chop so much, it's just time to, like, you know, cut back on the tick charts and then just focus on the bigger plays, because that way, even though they require some more time, I'm walking away with good profits. Yeah, man, overnight, pretty much not too much movement. Kind of just, again, it hit our area that we talked about yesterday, 34.82. Bounced right off of that and then just started slowly climbing down. Not too much movement, not too many crazy swings or anything. Pretty slow. And then this morning, that's when we started getting some heavy volume out of nowhere. That's where we got that little push. Sellers tried to push down, but then buyers were able to say no and then just pump it right back up. So now we have to see if this was a potential bull trap, so essentially like they're just trapping the bulls and finally getting short, or it's just a regular old pullback. Because we did pretty much go right around the high volume node for the overnight session. And pretty much since the open, we have been red. So potential downtrend day today. Who knows? Because the first 15 minutes pretty much control a lot of how the market behaves. And the reason for that, right, is because what happens is where there's a lot of institutional traders that they'll get in right at the market open and then they're holding their position for the rest of the day. That's why you see the high volume, like crazy amounts of volume happening and the big moves happening right in the beginning of the market and then the last 10 minutes of the market, because that's when they're closing all their positions. And since you guys asked, in our Discord, I did add the NQ alerts. I added them for the 5-minute charts. So we'll see if we get any of them today. So right now, NQ in the 1-minute charts is testing the 200 EMA in the 1-minute charts. So we'll see how well it handles that. But then ES, it's hitting that resistance point again, that yellow line that you guys see. So let's just take a look at the bigger picture right now, because I'm not seeing anything popping up for me at the moment. So this is the ES in the 1-day charts, right? So pretty much we've been on a bull trend since June 30th. Very tiny pullbacks, nothing crazy. I still want a pullback like this, right? Couple red candles and then we can get long. So we are approaching that territory where it's like we should be looking for a pullback anytime in the next couple of days, because that's what I was saying last week, and it happened right here, that one candle, but I don't see that being an amazing pullback. Normally, like in the Heikin-Ashi charts, at least 3 red candles would indicate a nice pullback, but right now in the daily charts, right, we are very strong. All these candles are strong, they're getting bigger, they're not getting weaker. So once there's always something to pay attention to in the ES, because like if you're always buying like long positions, you want to make sure that in the long term trend itself, everything is set up for the long. Right now, we're probably still bullish, just the way that everything looks, right? But once we see these candles start, you know, having wicks on both sides, or just getting smaller in candle size, meaning like, hey, that there's no range, like they're just ranging that day, not moving too much, that might be an indication of, hey, the next 2 days might just pull back a little bit. So be careful on how you're trading, especially if you're just a person that trades going long only. This is like the easiest way to understand which side of the trend you're on. Like that's what I do. I go to daily charts first. I analyze, okay, we're in the bull. Then I'll sometimes look at the 4-hour chart, because 4 hours on the daily, it's pretty much the same. And then I'll go down to the 1 hour to make sure, are we still holding that trend? And this is the 1 hour. We started getting a little bit rangy, and then just started jumping back and forth. And then that's when I'll go back down to the 5 minutes, because I confirmed, hey, the long-term trend is still bullish, and that's when we'll go. So pretty much right now, it bounced right off of our entry point from our alert, right? Which is interesting. Went right back up. Let me just pull this to the side. Let me see what you guys said. Here's a weird stat. Yesterday, the NASDAQ closed up 1.73% with 586 more decliners, and the advancers S&P closed 1% and 54 more decliners and advancers. Well, yeah, so that's what I've been talking about for the past like week or so, right? Because like the interesting part about what's happening during COVID right now is the tech companies are the only reason why the market's just been pumping up. One, yeah, we have the government feeding money in as well, but the tech companies have just grown so much within like this time in between March and now, that they've been just controlling, they've been making up for all those decliners and then some. You know, it would be interesting if we just had like a little index just for the tech stuff, not like ETF, but like a specific, like, you know how NASDAQ's pretty much always hyper movement, because they do have a good amount of tech stocks under their belt. But like, what if you just had it based on like your regular Facebook, Amazon, Google, Netflix, Tesla, Nvidia? I feel like that would just be shooting through the sky right now. Just like, I think one of the biggest reasons why they're able to make that push is because their valuation. and how much they're worth and their market cap. Because if you look at Apple, right, it went from a $1 trillion company last year to 2 trillion and plus now, because it's like trading at what, like around close to 500. I think around 420 was where it became 2 trillion, and then anything above that over 2 trillion. And going from 1 trillion to 2 trillion is a very large amount. Like it's like unreal. And most of the other companies, they're still trading, like their market cap, their valuation itself, they're only worth like a few billion, couple hundred billion, but they're nowhere near trillion, or nor will they ever get there. Unless they're a new tech company that's just going to change the world. That's a different story. They'll get there eventually, but all the regular companies, if you have like the retail companies, like say Macy's or whatever, they're never going to be worth a trillion, in my opinion, right? They're never going to be growing to that level. They're just going to be stuck in that same range of like whatever couple billion that they're valued at. So pretty much, clearly this was a good pullback, but again, today I'm just waiting for the algo alerts. If they come, they come. If not, then I'm not going to touch anything. I'm not trying to burn myself. So we'll see how the market does. Does Top Step tell you an amount where if you go below, it will close your funded account? It will make 100. So pretty much, yeah. So it's always like trailing. So with Top Step, right? Say you took your 50K account to 100K account. There's always a minimum balance that you want to keep in that account. And they'll tell you all of that in their dashboard. Depends on your account. And then most times like they do it like by increments. But yeah, they won't ever let you fall below a certain amount. TikTok sale to Microsoft could come within the next 40. Okay, that's big news. Let me check how Microsoft's doing, because TikTok has grown like crazy. Honestly, some of the videos on it like are kind of addictive. It's like Instagram in the beginning when it was like super addictive. You just keep scrolling. TikTok's becoming the same way, but I think Instagram's still gonna be the market leader, and Facebook will bring in so much money just from Instagram, just because whenever you have something new come out, like say TikTok, Snapchat, or anything like that, right? They kind of integrate those features into Instagram. When Snapchat did their Snapchat stories, everybody loved. Well, now everybody's doing their stories on Instagram. It all shifted. Took some time, but shifted. More people are using Instagram. And now they have Instagram Reels. It's essentially same like 7-10 second videos, just like TikTok. So a lot of TikTokers are just putting their videos from TikTok on those Instagram Reels. So if in the case that TikTok ever gets banned, then they know where to go for a backdrop. But Microsoft right now, it's performing really well. It had a pretty good jump lately. This morning, it just jumped like crazy. Here, let me just pull up the chart. It's probably because the news for TikTok, like you were saying, Tom, because if you think about it, right, that's a big news because TikTok is also a good revenue stream, because there's going to be a lot of advertisement space for them, as well as just businesses trying to grow their popularity, their brand awareness on TikTok. So it's just going to be like Instagram, in the sense that, hey, you have like the Instagram like marketing ad accounts essentially. So if you have an Instagram business account, they literally tell you you can promote your posts for like $5 or something like that. And then yeah, so it's like we can see today, this is the well, it's still happening, right? The first hour, but crazy jump. I think it's like a 2% move for Microsoft right here from yesterday's close. Let me see. So from yesterday's close, well, not my bad, it's about 4%. For Microsoft, that's a big move. So yeah, when my stock is above the third green line, what I'm doing is I'm just trailing my stop, because like it's like, hey, because my targets are get to the third take profit level. That's where I want my profits, right? The majority of my profits, unless I see like markets kind of being rangy or something and I want to invest that money in a different trade, that'll be a different story. But if I'm just holding, I'm always looking to get out at that third level. And then after the third level, say if it pushes, or if I see that, hey, there's volume picking up, there's going to be pushing, it's just pushing, what I'll do is pretty much like 50% of my position or 75% of my position, I'll be taking out at level 3, and the 25% I'll let it run. It's always about just securing your profits. That way you're always in the game, right? Because when it gets overextended like this, we can always see a pullback, or yeah, it can rip through completely. It happens. But at the end of the day, you are still profitable. I think from this move itself, let's see. That was like a 2.5% move. So that's what I'm saying. Like Microsoft moving 2.5% takes a little bit of time. But then today, obviously, jumped up 4% right there in one can, like right in the pre-market, and that's because of your TikTok news. But for long-term growth, Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, I think they're going to be doing great, just because they have so many streams of revenue coming in. It's like if you understand like how they do business, right, most of them are pretty much subscription basis. Microsoft is completely subscription. They're not like, hey, you buy this product once and you're just done. Microsoft Word, Windows, everything keeps updating. So your companies need to update their programs and their softwares, and then they pay the subscription and the licensing fees. So constant revenue stream right there, just from that aspect. Apple, same thing. They come out with new products all the time. Then you have Apple Music, all this other stuff. Are you able to add an audible alert to go to Algo plays? So yeah, you can, on TradingView itself, you're able to get a noise alert. I just turned it off because I just don't like hearing them too much. But all you would do is essentially click alert up here, and then you just say come down here, and then you would just do play sound, and then you can pick your sound that you wanted to do. And you just click on enhanced trades right there, and you click alert buy once per bar close, because we always wait for the bar to close, and then hit play sound. It'll play the sound. Because I know if I was streaming and then you guys heard the alerts, because like you'd hear the stock alerts, you'd hear the like the futures alerts and everything. So I feel like that would have just got really annoying for you guys too. So yeah, the way you trade stocks is, especially when I trade my large cap stocks or the bigger stocks, it's always the candle has to close, and then you'll get this nice little white line that tells you your entry price, right? And then you just place your buy stop limit. Just don't do a buy stop, because then it might just go to a market order you won't get filled. You'll get filled at a different price. Just do a buy stop limit at, for this, in this case, I would have just done 212.06, just 5 cents above. And the whole reason for that 5 cents is when I tested everything out, it became that number where it would avoid those double top situations where price just gets right up there and then reverses. Then to avoid that, I just do the 5 cents because you're not losing too much by giving up that 5 cents. So it's like, it's just, it makes it worthwhile, and it saves your position so that you don't get false entries and get double topped out. Is the market channeling up? Yeah. Let's see. Overall, yeah, looking at it, right? Let's see if, is there drawing tools, trend. I don't usually ever use these drawing tools. I'm just drawing because, like you're saying, it's a nice little channeling up. So this trend tool is like the easiest way to do that. But trying to, much easier on TradingView. No, sorry. I haven't had any issues with TradingView being delayed because, well, one, I have a TradeStation account, so I have it integrated with TradingView, so it's, everything's live for me. But most stocks on TradingView itself are also, you know, they're just live. Like, they give you some free data as well. The main reason I use TradeStation is because I first of all, I love TradingView, and then two, it makes trading so easy because I can just adjust my stops and trail my stops very easily because I can just click and drag, just like I do with my bracket orders on the ES, just click and drag. Same thing with TradingView. That's the one reason I went with them. I used to have a TD Ameritrade account, still do, but I just don't trade on it anymore because I just like the TradingView platform much better. Well, when you're swing trading, you can use delayed data because one, it's not going to affect you because your orders are still going to be live. So, and especially if you're just trading the hourly chart, sometimes what happens is the stock will go above that price maybe in the next 15 minutes, or it might just take a while. So more times than not, you can still use that delayed data to enter because it won't make too big of a difference. You might just give up a couple cents, but other than that, unless there's a big move, that's the only time I see like that's going to be a big factor. But most times things take their time. So in majority of the cases, you'll be fine even if you're like delayed, because like I think their max delay is 15 minutes. we might get a nice little bounce off of this. Then I'd confirm that, hey, this is a nice little uptrend. But the NQ in the 1 minute is starting to sell off because, and this is like an interesting thing that I want to show you guys when trading the algo system in the lower time frames, right? So the whole point is to get into the big moves. But what happens is, like right now, this is the 1 minute chart. So let me make that clear. You can always see the time frames up here. Make sure whenever you're watching YouTube, have it in 1080p, and that's always the best. And then we got our little signal. It hit the first target in the 1 minute. That was like a quick, like what, 6 or 5 points. But then we have like an alert that came here as well, but it didn't move too much. That's why in the 1 minute you have to be careful. Like you have to make sure your setups are proper and you have the proper market volume as well. Like in here, in this case, right here, our first target would have been up to 12.1950. Obviously we didn't hit that. Why? Because like in the 1 minute, what we had to be paid attention to is like the market's just kind of, you know, jumping back and forth. So that's why even when I saw this, I didn't really want to enter, because it's just like, it looked like it was just ranging in the 1 minute right around the 200 EMA. So it could go any direction, but it just became risky. In the higher time frames, you don't have that risk because everything's more, it moves much slower. So when the trend is defined, it is like defined. In 1 minute, trend is always changing, up and down, up and down, up and down. So that's the one of the things you have to be careful about. But I'm going to be making a video about exactly how you can use the algo for the lower time frames the right way. It's not like you have to follow a crazy amount of rules. It's just like 2 additional rules that you just have to follow, but I just have to explain it properly. So I'm going to make a nice little YouTube video over the weekend to explain how you guys can use it in the lower time frames as well. And I keep leaning in and my back starts hurting. Thank you all for subscribing. So I know a few people are watching, because I know we just had 2 people subscribe today. So thank you for that. And if any of you could hit that like button and make it nice and blue, I would love that, because, you know, that's how people get to grow on YouTube, that like button. Oh, for the NQ, yeah, it's going to be delayed for that one. But if it's just regular stocks, Tom, it's just going to be delayed by 15 minutes. But I don't know how much it's delayed for NQ and ES. I don't know what their delay rate is. Thank you for the 2 people that just hit the like button. I appreciate you. Let's see. Yeah, man, their charting, I love their charting. Like the way everything looks, the way how clean everything is, just love it. Because I think when I was trading with Thinkorswim, their whole platform just like annoyed me. Because like I always just grew up with everything like, you know, looking nice and clean. I like making sure everything's nice and clean. So it's like Thinkorswim was just not my platform for it. I was just like so confused with Thinkorswim half the time, and especially with their scroll feature too, because like you have to scroll the other opposite way of how you normally do, and your zoom where you have to cover over it. Just 1 second, guys. Yeah, there are a lot of scripts available for Thinkorswim, but a lot of scripts are available in TradingView as well. There's a lot of people that code just for TradingView and then they do it that way. I think TradingView is really gonna take over in the next couple of years. So I think like how things are, how appealing they are is also a big factor to like every generation, right? Every new generation needs to kind of match them, and I think TradingView is the best one for like the next generation. But E-Trade on the other hand has been making some good progress, because they have Power E-Trade, and they have, because like I use Power E-Trade for options and everything. Their platform's so simple. I love it, for especially when I do options. Yeah, TOS does have some problems. They have sometimes it's just lagging, sometimes it won't load, and then it's still a great platform, but obviously every platform is going to have those days where it's like it has to go under. It's just technology. That's just part of technology. But you know, overall they're all still good platforms, just a matter of like your personal preference. My preference is, my two favorites are TradingView and E-Trade, like the Power E-Trade, not the regular E-Trade, but Power E-Trade. I think one of the best things about like TradingView is the fact that, say like if you're still at work, or like, you know, you have your 9 to 5, because I know a lot of people right now are at home because of COVID and now trading, but like with TradingView you can just pull it up on your browser. You don't need a specific platform installed into your computer, because at your work desktop or whatever you're doing you can't do that. But here you can just pull it up on your browser, and most companies wouldn't restrict it. And if you have a TradeStation account, then you can just trade right on the charts. So let's see how this channel is working. Obviously, Delta is pushing down. Yeah, I did use the algo to help me pass the combine. That with the combination of tick charts, because it's like the tick charts were working really well, and then the algo really helped me getting the big moves. So I'd be getting like 4, 6 points, 7 points, or 10 points, and that would just like, you know, it's like when I first started doing it, it was like I was doing the 50K account, so it's like 50K count, all you need to do was make 3,000. So to do that, getting a couple points every day is the best way. He's like, what I did with the combine was essentially very strict in the sense that, hey, following the 2 simple strategies of, one was a tick just to get like a point or 2, mainly just a point, but then I'll get the algo for the bigger moves. I'd wait it out. My risk was always measured, so I never broke any of the rules for them. The first time I ever did the combine, I did break the rules and everything. Like, the interesting story about the combine was I did the 30K one first, and then I messed up with it and pretty much immediately restarted it past the 30K, but then I realized like I didn't want the 30K because it was just like I didn't like the way like how like close the stop had to be every time, like, and I would, like, the stop would get hit. There's more high risk, and especially during these markets too, right? That wouldn't have never worked. But that's why I was like, let me just do the 50K one. Did the 50K one again, then past that one. Simply just following the rules. Just gotta be patient, because some days you won't trade, to be honest. If you're disciplined, some days you just won't take a trade. Because if your setup didn't come and you didn't trade, like, give yourself a pat on the back, because that means you were disciplined. And that's like one of the hardest things with trading, is everybody wants to make that money immediately. But then once you realize, hey, you'll get more the next time you come around, because like you might catch that bigger move. So being silent for one day is never a bad thing. It's like, I think the easiest way for people to pass the combine is simply just go for like $200 a day. Don't go for those big moves just because you want to pass the combine really fast. It's like, if you think about it, right? Say you start off with a 50K account and that's the combine that you're doing. So 50,000 divided by what? Sorry. No, I'm sorry. Wrong number. 3,000 divided by 200. That's 15 days. So you have to do that twice, right? So obviously 30 days. So that's, in trading days, that's about a month and some change, like a month and a week or so. 30 days, yeah. No, a month and 2 weeks? Yeah, a month and 2 weeks. So 6 weeks. But then with the algo, what I was fortunate enough with was I was getting bigger plays. It wasn't just like 200 a day or anything. That noise you guys just heard, that was like TradingView giving me an alert noise. So I'm potentially gonna get in right here, right? 475.
Stop filled.
Sorry. Oh crap, I didn't realize my quantity was only set to 1 here. I don't know how that changed. So this play right here was from the algo alert, right? So this is a higher risk play, right? So one thing you want to be careful with when you're trading the lower time frames is when you're getting a doji candle, but then you're still getting the alert, a breakout and complete big move, momentum move is possible, but this might end up reversing on you. So it's something you have to be very careful about and be very like trail your stops in this case, or just don't enter until it comes down and you can re-enter. I entered with one contract, so I'm okay with it. We're gonna see how it plays out. And what time frame did you set the alert for in TQQQ, Tom? The time frame always matters as well. So right now our first target would be 94.75. That's a big move. That's 8.75. Might just take it off at 94 for like that 8 points. But again, considering that this is a doji candle, I personally, this is a higher risk alert, so you have to be very careful. Like that's the one thing like I'm talking about, like there's certain things in this lower time frame that you just have to watch out for. Not really a big fan of this candle, but I'm gonna give it a shot. But we do have our resistance. NQ slowly pushing up, which is good. Delta kind of double bottomed right here, right? So that's a good sign if it's reversing. Delta with a green move. Let's see how strong this can be. This can push, then we can possibly potentially just get that. And like Harry said before, right? We were channeling to the upside, and that channel could continue. So yeah, on the 1 minute time, you might have just got the alert because some type of move just happened. Like we just had our move right here happen, right? So TQQQ is always based off of the QQQQ, which is based off of NASDAQ. So you know how the NASDAQ moves already. It's erratic, it just pumps up. So I think today NASDAQ might be just leading the way a little bit. So I'm gonna be watching the NASDAQ in the 1 minute charts on my other screen just to make sure this trend is correct and it's gonna push. We're already positive about 2 points as is. This is a big play. I unfortunately just got in with one contract, but you know what? I think it was for the best. We have some high resistance again. Look at that. Orders piling up at what? 34.90 every 10 points. So pretty much if you look on my dome, it'll tell you my profit and loss target right now. Our algo alert price is for 34.94.75, but obviously that's where we pretty much reversed to. So that's why I want to be careful. Just put it a little bit, like a tick below that previous pivot, just because I want to make sure I get filled and get out. Because, you know, 400 still good. Just off one contract. I had my regular 2 contracts. I don't know why it didn't save. Let me just hit Control S so my chart settings save for next time. Because normally it's at 2. Only on tick charts or NQ I'll have it at 1 contract. But for ES I normally just trade 2 contracts. And then I'll trade 3 contracts as well sometimes. But lately I've just been trading 2 contracts. Go up 4 points already. Now we just wait and see if we can get that 8-point play. You know what, I'm just gonna take it off at 34.9375. Nice even 400 because we might get that even number resistance there, especially by the top. It is coming down on us a little bit, but let's be patient. NQ is struggling in the 1-minute chart just a little bit, so that's kind of concerning for me, but I'm trying to see if we can get a nice little push on the NQ, then the ES can definitely follow after that. So for the next few minutes I might not look at the chat on the side just because I want to focus on this. We're up 4 points as is. I could take it off for 200 right there, but let's see if we can get that push. Yeah, Tom, this is a 5-minute chart. So anytime you want to check what time frames I'm using, right at the top here, you'll see time period. It'll say 5. Or up here, right? Whenever you'll see it selected, it'll say ES 5 minutes, NQ 5 minutes. We're getting that nice little push. We hit that 90. We broke right through that 90, so that's a good sign. I'm start trailing my stop now. Might hit a double top formation right there. Sellers are piling up, so we might fight back a little bit, but let's see. NQ is pushing up on the 1-minute charts. Good sign, good sign. Might hit NQ might hit some resistance right at 12,001. So that's something I have to watch out for. Because I don't want any double tops happening at the moment. So where are our buyers at? Come on, you're close. Let's hit it. 1 more point. At this point, my stop loss is above break even. So whatever happens, happens. Broke above that double top, good sign. Let's see, can we continue? Now is when I might start looking at the tick charts just to see how the momentum is. Getting a little weaker. I don't like that. That tick chart's getting weaker. NQ. Let's see. Can the buyers hold? Show me some support. It is getting weaker. Move our stop to 1 point of profit real quick, and we'll start moving up slowly. I'm just waiting for that little break, because I know it's just buffering around because that's where the previous pivot highs were, but let's get filled. Let's get filled. Oh dude, don't do that on me. Don't touch my profit and run away.
Order filled.
There we go, guys. Unfortunately, that could have been an $800 trade, but we just had one contract in and I didn't want to put more in at the moment. And then again, you can see all trades 400. Obviously we had to pay our little commission, so we lost like $4 on that, but 396.30. Profitable trades 400, losing trades 0. 100%. Obviously we only took one trade, so obviously it's 100%. Thank you guys. I hope that a few of you at least got in on that, or you know, made some other trades today and got in and got some profits. I always want everybody to profit. There's more than enough money to go around in the market. That's for sure. Again, that was my game plan for today. Just wait for that algo alert to come. Today, it was a higher risk alert play because obviously it came on that doji candle. So that's why, yeah, you know what? Like, I'm happy that I accidentally had that one contract instead of having two, because if that reversed on me, that would have been a pretty big loss. So I'm happy that it was a blessing in disguise. So I'll pull up the algo real quick, right? And just make it full screen for you. Just drag this down a little bit. That way you guys can see the take profit levels, right? So we got in 34, 85, 75. I think we got in right, tick right above, or I think it pulled down again and we got right in at that number. But overall, we're waiting for that first target because today's the first target was big. This was a big move. So if we measure it out, right, let's see how many points it was. So the first target to that, it was 9 points. Obviously I took it off at 8 points because I didn't want any reversals at the pivot points, and I was happy with that 400. Obviously if we had two contracts, one would be taking it off there, second one probably here, or at the third one, depending on how the market jumps up. But we were watching that NQ the whole time to make sure that, hey, because NQ was leading at the moment, so we were just watching that to see there's no crazy amount of like sellers stepping in, that we were still strong. It got a little bit weak, but then we still continued. Yeah, let me see if I can pull that chart up. So yeah, when we were in this trade, right, NQ, I saw a little bit of sign of weakness here. That's what I was talking about, but I said, hey, let's see if we can hold below that 200 EMA in the 1 minute. This is the NQ 1 minute. So when I'm in a trade, what I like to do is make sure I'm watching whichever market's leading in the shorter time frame, just to make sure that trend is still continuing. In this case, right here, I didn't want any type of reversal, so I was waiting. Did a breakthrough. That little double top just made a triple top, so triple bottom. And I was like, okay, we didn't break through that, still pushing up. Again, here we got a little bit worried, but still above that 200 EMA, still broke through. And then here is when we got out of our contract, and then it pulled back, so this candle didn't matter to me at the moment. But here again, I was getting a little worried because I didn't want any reversal. And now it's still pushing up. I mean, if you're trading the simulated one, sure, yeah, you could do that. But then, I mean, wouldn't that be nice to be able to see the future and then place your trades after that? Everybody would win then. If that was real though, oh man, that would have been amazing. Being able to see everything and then placing your trades after that. We'd be rich in a minute. Well, yeah, that's the whole point of the algo too when I built it out, because it's just a matter of like making sure I follow my rules, making everything easier, as well as just making my charts more easier, because like I used to have plenty of stuff on my charts and I had to condense everything into one. That way I didn't confuse myself, and that's where the algo grew from. And then now it's just like about waiting it out, being patient, and just staying still. Because there are sometimes I don't get to trade, because like in the morning I might not get a good alert, I don't like it, it's whatever, and the alerts might come overnight and I'm like, damn, I wish I stayed up or something. But mornings are the best times for me. That's where I like to trade. A lot of volume, a lot of movement, and there'll be a lot of days where you get some nice movements on the algo in the mornings. So there's no cost for a TradeStation subscription. It's just you just have to put in. You just have to put in, you know, a little amount of money. I think they have their little programs, or like you have to deposit like 2,000 for one of them, or I think they have a lower plan, but then they have another fee with it. But if you put 2,000 in the account for one of them, like you'll get live data, you get everything, you can trade on the charts. Not an issue. Enzo, I don't know, what do you mean? Where do I have to sign up on your website? Do you mean you want to test the algo out for yourself? if you want to do that, in the link below there's a Discord channel. So if you join that, you can just DM me on the Discord channel with your TradingView username. I'll set it up. I'll give you like a little 1 week or 2 week free trial just so you guys can test it out. So Harry, do you know the winning percentage of your algo if triggered? So essentially for the 1 hour and daily, it's always been like above 80% win rate for it. And then for the ES, I trade the mornings only, so that data is kind of difficult, but I can definitely sit down and calculate it too. But so far it's been like around, every time it's been triggered in like a proper market, it's been doing really well. I'd say at least above 75. At least above 75, I know that. But to get the exact number, I will do some calculations. I will do some back tests again for the lower time frames. It's just the lower time frames, you just need to apply a little different rule to make sure you understand the market conditions, because in the lower time frames, you don't want to just get in on every single alert. Higher time frames is different because the movement's there, it's confirmed. It'll work more than 80% of the time, and when you lose, you only lose like a very tiny fraction. So I'll make another like back testing up. I can probably make a video about it too, that way everyone can just see it. But I'll make an Excel sheet that shows every single trade you could take in the mornings with the proper setups. So I'll make it just for the morning because that's when we all trade, right? I'll show you the results from that. I think I did do a back test for June and July again after like trading live and everything, but if you just follow the algo alerts in the mornings, I didn't do the percentage. I think I just did the, you know, the contract values and everything. And I believe June was about like 3,500 if you just had like 1 or 2 contracts. If you just follow the algo system and the rules, just in the morning, right? If you're just trading from pretty much like 8:30 till like 11:30, just those alerts, you would have like at least 3,500. And then for July, it was like over like 4,000. But that's also just taking taking your profit to like level 1 and level 2. If you held to level 2 every time or something like that, then obviously your profits would be more. But yeah, you can put the alert lines on your TOS charts. You can do it that way too. I think NinjaTrader is a good platform, especially for futures. I personally just use Tradeovate because I just like their system. I got so accustomed to it, got so used to it that I'm happy where it's at. But I know that I think my dad used NinjaTrader for a while. He still has his account. He still does it sometimes, but you know, still a great platform. Has some great features in it. For me, NinjaTrader was just kind of confusing to navigate around, and I didn't like that. I like things that are just simple and I can understand and get straight to the point. NinjaTrader, you have to go, and even the back test, you have to go back like somewhere. You have to download data for it, and you have to go backwards. There's like so much back and forth with it, and I was just like, you know what, I don't like this. That's why when I found Tradeovate, I was so happy because everything was just so simple and straightforward, and I was able to navigate through everything so quickly. Same thing with TradingView. That's why I love it so much. It's nice and simple. Because me personally, right, I always think simplicity is key. That's the whole point of like why I built this algo as well. Clean charts, wait it out, play your move, be done. So ideal profit level, it depends on the market condition. That's why during the short term, there's different rules with it. Long term, you can pretty much, you can take, if you wanted to, you can just split up your position, right? If you're trading stocks and everything for the long term and like the hourly charts, take off a third of your position at level 1, take off another third at level 2, and then take off another third at level 3. But market condition always plays into it, because like if you see a big sporadic movement, then you can just move your take profit to keep it at level 3, because that's what I do, right? When I first start, when I enter my trade, my take profit will be placed at level 3 for like stocks and everything. And then if I see any type of stagnation or market not moving so well, or there's some weird news happening and I think it's going to affect this, that's when I'll push my take profit to like level 2 or level 1, just because like, you know what, market conditions aren't looking too well. There might be some really bad news, like say COVID was happening, like that initial news, right? That was a big deal. So I would have just tried to take my profits and just run, right? I don't want to be in it for too long if there's uncertain markets. But now it's like we're going back to our regular markets of just continuing that uptrend, pull back, uptrend, pull back, uptrend. And government's funding the markets, and they're funding companies, if giving people money. So that's just good right now. So at the moment, I'm okay with just holding it out. I'll take it. I'll try to take most of my profits at level 3. But market condition is always important. But that's why for people that just want to get in and out, level 1 and level 2 is probably your best. Level 3 takes some more time. But for the ES, I always take at least one contract off at level 1, and then I'll wait for level 2. But then I'll probably start getting into 3 contracts again soon, but I'm just debating about the risk reward at that point, because the market hasn't been like, the ES hasn't been at like its original core that I've been used to trading, right? Ever since March, everything's kind of changed a good amount. So just to adapt to that, I lowered my contract sizes down, and just, you know, playing it safe at the moment. But for the ES, level 1 will always get hit pretty much, like more than 90% of the time. Level 2, 85% of the time. Level 3 still happens, just I don't know the exact number for level 3, because I always end up getting out of level 1, level 2, unless I see full bull move. It's like, oh, coronavirus vaccine approved, like we're out there. Then boom, market's pumping. I know that for a fact, and if I'm in the trade, I'm gonna hold. Yeah, Tom, IB Interactive Brokers, right? They were really confusing. I tried to check them out because like I think one time they were like advertising like, oh, you get your commissions back after like a certain amount, like if you make this many trades, we pay you back for it or whatever. So I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. But then guess what, everyone went to 0 commissions. I was like, you know what, screw this. Yeah, it's a very confusing platform. I don't know, but they have a lot of users though. So but that's why it's confusing to me. I think Interactive Brokers, I think they have been around for a while, right? So I think people that started trading earlier might have just gotten used to that type of system. And so they've been trading in, they're like, this is what trading is. Be like, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of different platforms, like, so there's a lot of platforms out there that are just like, how the heck do people use these? So, hey, to each their own. I'll pull up the algo chart again. Right now I'm just here to just talk to you guys. I don't think I'm not getting another trade on futures today. Again, got in here, took it off. 8 points was because 8 points, you have to understand, it's a big move, especially in the short term for the ES, right? Especially when we're in all-time highs. So right now, hit our take profit level 1, act as a resistance point like it does sometimes, and then came right back down to our entry level. Now it's pushing back up. It's up like 4 points from our entry point. So let's see if we can continue to the upside. Yeah, origin code, they are like one of the oldest in the game. I just didn't know if that was like confirmed or not, but thanks for confirming it. Yeah, you can't use Sierra chart and funding companies, but I don't think they allow. Yeah, they probably don't allow because they want you to use their own platforms. Obviously, with Top Step Trader, they wanted me to use their TS Trader, which is their Top Step trading platform, but it's pretty much just Tradeovate. So it's just like they have some control over it, just because, like, you know, they have like some company deal that they made out and they get to calculate and have their data linked. But other than that, TS Trader, Tradeovate, it's the same exact thing, but then you can have your Tradeovate account on the side. Yeah, so I never use Sierra chart, so I think origin code probably is like expert in this one, so I'll let him take the floor. But I don't know too much about Sierra chart, never used it, never even went on their website, so I can't say anything about them. Okay, and so if you're on the Discord, I think, you know what, this weekend I'll make the videos about how to use the algo in the short-term time frames, as well as how to use the Discord itself, because I realize that there are a lot of people that don't use Discord that join. So if you want, you can see, let's see, what the hell. So if you're on your Discord, if you're on your phone or your mobile app, it doesn't matter. But if you scroll down towards like random chat, it'll be under the member lounge tab. And if you go down there, you'll see like me commenting. My name's Jay, obviously. And you can just click on my picture or my name, and then you can just send me a message with your TradingView username, and I'll set up some access for you. Origin code, what is the TT Sierra? I don't know what that is. Oh, trading technologies, okay. Alright, let me just look at Microsoft for you guys. So yeah, Tom, Microsoft played out pretty amazing. hit all 3 targets. So if this was a day you kind of played your options, that's a good move. Enzo, you can have a free account and still use the algo. You don't need to have a paid account with TradingView to use the algo. But yeah, this is the Microsoft chart, and it's doing well. Obviously, that TikTok news is big. But back to the ES. It bounced off of our entry point. It's coming right back up. So we'll see what happens for the rest of the day. So with the free version, you can only have 3 indicators on your charts. So if you just click X on them, if you're new to TradingView, yeah, I think I need to make like a good amount of tutorial videos, just because I've noticed like there's a good amount of people that quite like always ask me on DMs or whatever, like, okay, how do I set this up? How do I use this? So I'm gonna make some tutorial videos just to make my life easier as well, and everyone else's life easier. I'll make a tutorial video. Let me just write this down, that way I know for the weekend when I have time. Where's my sticky notes? What the heck? But yeah, so this weekend I'll make a TradingView tutorial, a Discord tutorial, and then how to use the algo in the lower time frames tutorial as well. But yeah, if you're in TradingView right now, you can just pretty much just exit out of one, like delete one of the indicators that you have on your charts, and then you can add one, because you can only have up to 3 when you're first like on the free account. Okay, the ES still continuing. Let's see if we can break above. Right now it is in a nice uptrend, breaking through pivot highs, always a good sign. Right now we are hitting like a double top area, right? Double tops don't have to be right next to each other, they can always be the previous points, the previous pivot highs or pivot lows. So right here for this one, we can see the high was 34.95. Excuse me. Sorry, 34.95.75. Now we broke through that pivot high. And now it's just a matter of waiting and seeing how far it wants to push up today. Yeah, I like seeing that because it's one of the best features, honestly, because I always forget what time I'm looking at, and sometimes I just have to look at my clock at the bottom, or on Tradeovate, or what I'm using for like the futures, like the actual order execution, it'll have the time up there, and then, but this one just makes it easier because it moves with the price, tells me, I know exactly where to look. So even in this play, right, even if we had two contracts, obviously one would be taken out for like the 8.9 point profit here, but the other contract, since we would have moved, the minute it hit the first target, I would have moved it to break even or break even plus one. So when it came down here, it probably would have filled us. So regardless, today it would have been the same profit, right? I appreciate that, Mustafa, but we're all still learning. There's always room for growth. So on the Discord, you will see like the large cap algo and everything, right? The enhanced trades bot. So what that just means is that have linked it with my TradingView account so that anytime an alert from the algo comes, it goes automatically to the Discord channel. Same thing with the futures alerts. You'll see multiple come overnight just because it's predicting movements, but we don't trade overnight. So you can just ignore all the overnight alerts. We pretty much go for the alerts that are happening in the morning between 8 o'clock and 12. That's like our best time range. That's when we get our good moves. There's just like, if I wanted to turn those off for the rest of the day, I have to do it manually every day. I kind of just forget. Yeah, so those are the buy alerts that we see from your algo. Yep. Because like if you see, like if you're in the futures algo, like you'll see right around like 10:15, 10:20, you would have got this alert. It would have said buy ES or whatever. Let me pull it up. I can show. So the minute the candle closes, right? So this would be the Discord. So we got that. This was the 10:15 candle, right? And we always wait for candle close. And if you guys can see, 1 second, let me just. So right here, 1 second. 34.8575. It says buy ES at the break above 34.8575. When I say the break above, it means put your order one tick higher. And this is just like when it says bot, that just means it's like automatically putting my alerts. It's not me typing it out. If it's ever me typing it out, you'll see my face next to it. You'll see this little picture and my name. But everything else, it's automatic. It's like set up with TradingView. Alerts just get transferred. Because I know a lot of people will be using the free TradingView account, and obviously, so that's why I pay for like the full version, like the premium one. So that's why I'm able to do this, get the webhooks, transfer it over, and automatically get it, and you'll get that alert real time. I don't know how Sierra chart works with the Fibonacci levels, so I'd have to see it to explain how you can set them up. But yeah, I never use Sierra chart. I don't know how their Fibonacci is set up, because I know different platforms use different settings for Fibonacci's. Like I know like the overall numbers are the same, but you can try it out with the -1 and just double it to -2 to see if that works for you. If not, then you'd have to play around with it. But yeah. And Tom, is a TradeStation the only platform that the alerts fire on? No, TradingView is where the alerts are firing on. TradeStation is just my order execution platform. So TradingView allows me to set up the alerts and get the alerts and everything. But TradeStation is just where I place my orders. And it lets me place my orders right on the chart, so I can just like, I can't do it for the ES because I don't use the TradeStation account to trade futures. But all you'd have to do is select a price. Well, I guess here I have to pull up stock chart. So if I click here, I can click trade, buy. If I want 10 or 10, I can create a new order. I can like make it whatever I want, right? Did we get the futures alert? Yeah, we got the futures alert in the Discord right at 10:20, right when I entered. Now you can see on the YouTube channel when I entered too. If you just scroll back, this was the alert, right? Our 10:15 candle. We wait for it till it closed, so that would be 10:20. And what did we do right here? We got that today at 10:20 a.m. We got the buy ES break above 34.8575. As you can see, the price right here, 34.8575. You'll get the alerts instantly. Yeah, I don't know how much it's delayed, guys. Like, I think you would have to, you guys can tell me how much is delayed, because I have the premium version, so I don't have any delay. But if there is a delay, let me know. You can just type it in the chat, and that way everyone else knows as well. So for the free version, it's 10 minutes. Okay. I'll try to remember that if anybody else asks. But yeah, now I'm just kind of just chilling, watching the charts, the candles do its things. I mean, I don't think they would delay it more than 10 to 15 minutes. I think 15 minutes might be max. Because like then nobody would use it, right? If like a platform's like delaying your data by like an hour, then nobody's gonna touch it. 15 minutes is very doable, especially if you're like swing trading. It won't make too big of a difference for you. And again, we hit that the first take profit level. We're bouncing off it. It's acting as a resistance point, which is pretty common. That's why we like to lock in our profits. This was an 8-point move, so that's when you want to make sure, like, just lock it in. But the overall trend is still to the upside. Above the 200 EMA is the first confirmation of upside trend. Second is higher highs. Each pivot is getting higher and higher and higher, and higher lows. Like every single time we have a higher low, higher low. This one, we'll have to see what happens. Can't say anything yet. But when that's happening, higher highs and higher lows, it's a nice uptrend. We're coming down again a little bit. Let's see if we bounce off again. Right now on my other screen, I'm just looking at some like long-term portfolio stuff and then seeing if I just want to sell, get some cash on hand again. And I appreciate all of you guys for hitting that like button. It helps a lot. But how's everything with you guys? You guys catch any moves today? Or you guys want to talk about something? Let me know. I'll sit here for like another half an hour or so. And then after that, I'll probably go make some lunch. And then just do some other stuff throughout the day. But yeah, got my move. I'm happy. But next week I will be starting that 10K challenge where with stocks. If anybody's interested, they can tune in. I'm not doing anything live, obviously. Futures I'll always be doing live in the mornings, but stocks I'll just have on the side running. And then I'll do like a recap of like maybe every couple days or maybe every day, who knows. Where I'm just going to be swing trading stocks and then just showing account growth. Enzo, I wish you the best, man. Hopefully you get some profits today. Oh, you meant in real estate. Are you doing a rental or are you doing for sale? Like the house? And how's the market been for you over there? Because I know around here, like, the supply is kind of low, man. Oh, dude, that's amazing. $12 to 15 offers per house. That's good. That is good. Yeah, that's happening here too. We're getting like people are getting a lot of offers, but then I'm noticing most of the time these guys are overbidding, and then once they have to get like approved again with their bank, they're just saying no. And I'm surprised by how many people are making cash offers lately, right? So it's like there's a lot of people that are like making cash offers, which I've noticed around my area, right? Like these houses aren't cheap either, so it's like they're doing something right. Yeah, TradingView isn't really that expensive. It's like I think for the first one it's $15 a month, but I think if you do like the yearly subscription, it becomes even cheaper. Yeah, right now whoever's selling, man, like whoever's selling houses at the moment, like it's a good market for them if they can get a house for sale, right? I think that's the hardest part right now. Is like around here, Anybody I contact right now, they're like pretty much just staying still. They're like, we don't know. We'll see how the market is. We don't know about people's jobs in the future. So it's like nobody wants to get out because of COVID. That's been a big struggle. But the people that are listing though, man, they are going quick. Yeah, and so it is everywhere, man. Like I think across like America right now, it's like if you can catch a seller, you know you'll make a good commission. Man, that like that election time is just gonna be interesting. We'll see what the government does with their funding. We'll see how they act. I mean, that's what a lot of people are doing right now. They are relocating. That's why like the city's getting hit hard though. All their rents are going down. So that's gotten like everybody that owns properties in the city. Like for me, it's like I know New York and Philly, people are moving out. They're moving to the suburbs. Philadelphia area, they're moving to the suburban area of Pennsylvania. But everyone in New York is moving to Jersey now, and like those guys are just picking up houses just like that because like the amount they pay in rent, they can just buy a house. Yeah, let me pull up Walmart real quick. Let's see. Oh yeah, Walmart is crushing it right now. Yeah, I'll pull that chart up real quick. One hour just blew through. Pretty much a 1% gain if you're playing the stocks. Let's see its potential though. So its potential move total is 2.59% for Walmart. That's a good move. But like if somebody did get into Walmart, since it did cross that level 1 with a big candle like that, I would just suggest start trailing. So if you had your stop loss down here, you can put it at stop loss level 1, or just put it right below that candle. ES on the other hand, we're still fighting. Again, if we get choppy in the middle, that means we might get that little pump up at the end of the day. Yeah, the Jersey market's nice. I personally love Jersey, grew up here, and I don't know. I don't think I can move out of Jersey for some reason. Like, I like traveling. I love Cali, like San Diego especially. But I think, like, you know, you just have that feeling of home somewhere, and for me, it's just Jersey. Property taxes are annoying here, but ease of life, ease of, like, convenience to everything, you also get that. I don't know what you meant by that, Enzo. Was there last year shooting a video at the KW? I don't know. Where is Runmead? Oh, look, so he lives in like South Jersey. I'm more central. So he'd probably like run. I'm looking at it on Google Maps right now. That'd be at least like a good hour and a half for me. Yeah, exit 3 is a hike. Exit 3 is like exit 3 is easily like an hour plus. For me at least. Yeah, Mustafa, Central Jersey does exist. I will fight with people on that one. Yeah, it does exist. I don't even know where that started, man. I don't know why that's like a thing in Jersey where it's like they say Central, like people from South Jersey say, oh, Central doesn't exist. People from North Jersey say Central doesn't exist. But like, what about the whole big land that you see in the middle? Because people cut off North Jersey at a certain point, people cut off South Jersey at a point. So it's like, guess what? The middle is Central. But who knows how that started, but it is what it is with that. Is South Jersey a scary place? I don't know. I think it might be a little bit depending on what type of person you are, but it depends, right? I think South Jersey is just mainly all like farmlands for the most part, the more south you go. That's why we're called the Garden State. Yeah, today on the algo alert, we're literally just bouncing off our entry price again. But for the bigger pivots, we're still in an uptrend, but for the smaller pivot here, we did break below it, so that is something to be cautious about. We might get some range bound action right here where we could just get some chop. So I would be careful of that if anybody is in the market. Yeah, man, Newark is a scary place. I'll give you that much. Like, there's like one, like, what, like, I guess I want like a little stretch of New York that's like very nice, where they have like Rutgers and like the school area. But everything outside of that, trust me, I get scared too when I drive through it or anything. I think that's why I like Central, because it's like I'm not really like a too big of a city person. Like cities are like nice to go to here and there, but I like the suburbs. Just more peaceful. And I get to drive wherever the hell I want. Cities, you can't really do that. You're just stuck in like bumper to bumper traffic most of the time. And then suburbs, I'm a car guy, so I like cars. I like driving. So in suburbs, I get to do that. I can just go on back roads if I just want to take a light little joyride. Yes, is making that little pump up again. It's kind of slow, but still good moves. Walmart, on the other hand, kind of just crushing it at the moment. Yeah, guys, I think I'm just gonna hop off the stream today. Kind of done, you know. We took our profits. We're done for the day. Pretty much, you know. We made the 400. We had one contract. We had two contracts. That would have been nice, but that wasn't part of our play. We have that resistance level. That's where it bounced off of at 34.96. Just for anyone that's trading, I'll just talk about the few resistance zones. Another resistance point is around 35.0525, and the one next to that, after that, if we make a big push, is 35.13. And we have some support around 34.8177 or 75 essentially. So to everyone, if you guys are still trading, wish you the best, bring in some profits, but I'll be back tomorrow. So until then, peace out, enjoy your day.